Every year, as October shadows lengthen and the nights grow colder, whispers begin to stir in small towns, big cities, and quiet countryside streets alike. Halloween, a night that celebrates the playful and the macabre, has always carried with it an undercurrent of fear, a pulse of stories that refuse to die. Among these are the urban legends, tales passed down in hushed tones, growing darker with each retelling, some dismissed as mere superstition, others leaving a lingering unease that no rational mind can fully explain. Tonight, we embark on a journey through these haunted tales, exploring legends that have survived decades, some stretching centuries, each one entwined with the spirit of Halloween itself. Before we dive into the eerie heart of these legends, let us briefly recall why Halloween became a night of both celebration and fear. Long before candy-filled houses and brightly carved pumpkins, the ancient Celts marked Samhain as a night when the veil between worlds thinned. Spirits wandered the earth freely, and humans were vulnerable. In this delicate balance between life and the beyond, stories of encounters with the supernatural began to emerge. Villagers spoke of shadowy figures glimpsed in the fog, strange noises echoing through empty streets, and warning signs that a spirit, a phantom, or something worse was near. Over centuries, these whispers solidified into legends, passed from one generation to the next, each retelling adding layers of fear, myth, and often just enough truth to make them believable. One of the most enduring urban legends revolves around the figure known in some circles as the phantom hitchhiker. Across continents, from the quiet lanes of New England to the winding roads of rural Mexico, drivers claim to have picked up a young woman on Halloween night. She sits silently in the back seat, pale, almost translucent, asking only to be taken home. But when the driver reaches the address, she whispered, she has vanished, leaving only a chill in the air and sometimes an old photograph or article that confirms she died decades ago. These stories spread not as cautionary tales, but as chilling reminders that the boundary between past and present, life and death, is far thinner than we believe. People whisper them around campfires, recount them on social media, and each Halloween, someone somewhere experiences the unexplainable. The phantom hitchhiker is more than a story. It is a shadow that lingers, a question that remains unanswered. How can a spirit seek help and yet remain eternally untouchable? Another legend that refuses to fade is the tale of haunted dolls. Across the United States and Europe, reports emerge every year of children receiving strange, antique dolls that seem to watch them, move on their own, or even whisper names in the dead of night. Some families claim that these dolls appear during Halloween, always near the places where shadows lengthen first. Museums and private collectors have documented cases of dolls that were untouched for decades, yet arrived at new homes mysteriously, sometimes accompanied by letters warning of their past lives. The fear is not simply that these objects might move or speak, but that they carry the memories of someone long gone, and that on Halloween night, their essence is closest to the living world. Such legends reveal a profound human fascination with the objects we imbue with meaning, and a warning: some gifts, no matter how innocent they appear, should never be accepted without caution. Then there are the stories of the Black Cat curse, a legend older than most Halloween traditions. In medieval Europe, black cats were feared as companions of witches, conduits of dark magic and omens of death. In many towns, a black cat crossing your path on Halloween night was more than superstition. It was considered a sign of impending misfortune. These stories migrated across the ocean with settlers, adapting to new cultures while retaining their sinister undertones. Even today, urban legends speak of families who have seen a black cat at precisely the same hour every October 31st, only to experience misfortunes that coincide with that moment. Whether coincidence or fate, the legend persists, compelling us to stare a little longer at the shadows, to hesitate before stepping into the darkened street, to wonder if something unseen is tracking our every move. Halloween night is also haunted by tales of phantom footsteps in abandoned houses and silent laughter echoing in the corridors of deserted schools. From the derelict mansions of Europe to the empty factory buildings of industrial towns, these stories share common elements. An ordinary night transformed into a moment of suspense and dread, the sudden awareness of an unseen presence, and the chilling realization that someone or something else is watching. Teenagers, thrill seekers, and storytellers alike have ventured into these abandoned places to test the legends, only to report feelings of being followed, cold gusts that have no source, and glimpses of shadowy figures that vanish when approached. These experiences are often dismissed as imagination, but the legends endure, fueled by the mysterious, the unexplained, and the thrill of fear itself. Perhaps the most disturbing urban legends of Halloween are those tied to the idea of masks and costumes that go beyond playful disguise. Throughout the decades, rumors have circulated of masks that cannot be removed, costumes that carry a sinister presence, or makeup that seems to change the wearer's behavior. In some towns, stories persist of children or adults donning a certain mask only to disappear, or to act in ways that are uncharacteristic, frightening loved ones, and leaving communities baffled. While many of these tales are undoubtedly amplified by imagination and retelling, the fear they instill is real. They serve as a reminder that Halloween is a night when the ordinary can become extraordinary, when innocence can brush against darkness, and when legends are given life in the most personal of ways. Across cultures, Halloween also brings stories of the haunted orchard or cursed cornfield, where children daring each other to venture deep within find themselves lost, hear voices or glimpse figures that vanish into the mist. These legends are particularly resilient because they are experienced collectively. A group dares another, fear escalates, and the legend is reinforced through shared experience. Psychologists note that this amplification is part of why Halloween legends persist. Fear is contagious, and when it is combined with the thrill of tradition, a story becomes immortal. It is no surprise that even in urban centers with bright lights and busy streets, people report chilling sensations in unexpected places during this season, a testament to the power of folklore and human imagination intertwined. As we recount these urban legends, it is crucial to remember the thin line they tread between myth and reality. Some may have started as cautionary tales designed to keep children safe or to explain unexplained occurrences. Others may have roots in actual events, distorted over decades into frightening stories. The thrill of Halloween is in this ambiguity. We never know which tales are harmless fun, and which carry echoes of truths too unsettling to be fully acknowledged. And so, each year, the legends resurface, taking new forms, integrating with new media, and spreading fear in ways that feel both timeless and immediate. Tonight, as darkness falls and the streets fill with costumes, carved pumpkins, and laughter, remember that somewhere beneath the fun, the old tales still breathe. Somewhere, a phantom hitchhiker waits, a black cat crosses a path, a doll watches silently, and footsteps echo where no one is meant to tread. Urban legends are more than stories. They are the pulse of collective fear, and on Halloween, they beat strongest of all. And this is only the beginning. In the next block, we will venture deeper into the most chilling legends, exploring the ones that have caused real terror, stirred panic, and persisted for decades, leaving a mark on history and memory alike. As the night grows darker and the moon casts a ghostly glow over the streets, some urban legends step out of whispered tales and into the unsettling realm of reality. Across the world, there have been countless reports, some documented, some anecdotal, of encounters that defy simple explanation, yet anchor these Halloween stories firmly in the minds of those who hear them. These are not just stories to frighten children, they are reminders that fear, when combined with superstition and the shadowed night of Halloween, can manifest in ways that are eerily convincing. One of the most disturbing examples comes from the small town of Point Pleasant, where every Halloween for decades, residents have reported seeing the same shadowy figure near abandoned houses. The Halloween spectre, as it became known locally, appeared consistently at dusk, silently watching from windows or standing just at the edge of the forest line. Multiple eyewitnesses over the years described a tall, faceless figure, wearing what seemed like tattered robes, sometimes moving unnaturally fast, sometimes vanishing entirely when approached. Police officers investigating were often met with no evidence, only the chilling consistency of the accounts. Scholars and folklorists suggest that this legend persists because it combines fear of the unknown with a tangible location, making the town itself part of the narrative, as if the landscape conspires to sustain the legend. In the United States and Europe, reports of cursed Halloween costumes have circulated for decades. One case from the 1980s in a suburban neighborhood involved a child receiving a clown costume for Halloween. According to the family, after wearing the outfit, the child began experiencing vivid nightmares, intense anxiety, and uncharacteristic aggression. Local historians noted that the costume had been passed down through multiple households, always accompanied by reports of strange behavior. While skeptics argue that these incidents are psychological rather than supernatural, the fear they generated in the community cemented the legend, creating a story that would be retold every Halloween with new layers of detail and dread. Another persistent tale revolves around the phantom pumpkin legend. In rural towns, families and children reported carved pumpkins that would seemingly move, vanish, or reappear in impossible places on Halloween night. These occurrences were often coupled with sudden chills, flickering lights, or soft, unexplained whispers. In some cases, neighbors claimed to see pumpkins floating down streets or appearing in the middle of yards that had been empty hours before. While modern investigations attribute many instances to pranksters or natural phenomena, the enduring power of the tale comes from its specificity. The pumpkin, a universal symbol of Halloween, becomes a vessel for the inexplicable, transforming an innocent tradition into a source of suspense and fear. The legend of the vanishing children has also persisted across generations. In numerous towns, children daring each other to visit abandoned buildings or cornfields report that one child in the group disappears momentarily, only to reappear hours later with no recollection of where they had gone. In some extreme cases, authorities were called to investigate missing children, only to find that the child had been hiding or disoriented. But the legend evolves around the inexplicable details. The sudden disappearance at the witching hour, the eerie feeling among the other children, the shadowy figure glimpsed in the distance. These legends resonate because they play on primal fears, the vulnerability of youth, the unpredictability of the night, and the thin line between playful adventure and true danger. Even in large cities, Halloween urban legends thrive. Stories of haunted streets, where drivers encounter ghostly figures or phantom vehicles, have been reported from New York to London. One particularly chilling account involved a taxi driver who picked up a passenger dressed in 18th century attire on Halloween night. The passenger gave no destination, only staring silently ahead. After several minutes, the driver looked back, and the seat was empty despite the doors never having been opened. Incidents like these blend the thrill of urban exploration with a touch of the supernatural, creating a legend that is retold in cafes, social media, and local newspapers year after year. There are also legends tied to physical objects. Antique toys, dolls, and masks have long been linked to Halloween hauntings. One famous case in Italy involved a centuries-old mask that was brought to a local festival. Attendees reported hearing faint, almost imperceptible whispers, seeing shadows flit across their vision, and feeling sudden, inexplicable cold spots. No logical explanation was ever found, and the mask became the centerpiece of local folklore, feared and revered in equal measure. These legends highlight a profound human tendency to associate objects with intent and memory, particularly when those objects are tied to culturally significant times, like Halloween. Some legends even cross into the realm of cautionary tales. In Japan, the story of Kuchisake Onna, the slit-mouthed woman, has been adapted into Halloween-themed encounters in recent years. Children and teenagers report seeing a masked figure outside their homes or in alleyways, echoing the eerie aspects of Western Halloween legends. This fusion of cultural myths illustrates how Halloween, while originating from specific historical and geographical roots, has become a global canvas for urban legends, each culture adding its own fears, imagery, and lessons to the night's tapestry of terror. Yet beyond the thrill of the story, these legends serve a deeper function. They allow communities to explore fear in a controlled environment, to pass down values, warnings, and mysteries from one generation to the next. Urban legends of Halloween are as much about collective psychology as they are about the supernatural. They thrive on ambiguity, uncertainty, and the human tendency to find patterns in the unknown. Every retelling, every encounter, real or imagined, cements the legend further, ensuring that no Halloween passes without a few whispered warnings of what might be lurking in the shadows. As you walk through decorated streets, pass carved pumpkins, and hear children laughing in costumes, remember that somewhere just out of sight, these urban legends persist. Somewhere a shadow waits, a doll watches, a pumpkin floats, and a ghostly figure vanishes into the mist. These are not just stories. They are the heartbeat of Halloween itself, an invisible thread linking fear, tradition, and imagination across generations. And this is only the beginning. In Block 3, we will explore the most chilling and unresolved legends, cases that left investigators puzzled, communities terrified, and the world questioning what is myth and what might truly be real. As Halloween night reaches its deepest shadows, the most unsettling legends begin to emerge, the ones that linger in memory long after the last trick-or-treater has gone home. These are tales of encounters that defy explanation, moments when the veil between the ordinary and the supernatural feels perilously thin. In small towns and sprawling cities alike, these stories are whispered by the brave, repeated on social media, and sometimes dismissed as exaggeration. Yet those who have experienced them know there is a thread of truth woven through the fear. One of the most infamous legends is that of the Halloween stalker, a figure described in multiple urban centers across North America. Witnesses recount seeing a tall, hooded figure moving silently among children and parents, always staying at the edge of the light, disappearing when approached, only to reappear in another location moments later. While many believe these sightings are simply pranks or optical illusions, a pattern emerges. The figure is never aggressive, never directly threatening, yet its presence generates a profound sense of unease. Parents who experienced it report a haunting memory, one that has been passed down to children as both a warning and a tale of mystery. In the United Kingdom, the legend of the Phantom Carver has persisted for decades. Across various towns, families preparing pumpkins for Halloween reported seeing carvings shift overnight, faces changing expression or showing grotesque details that had not been there before. Skeptics might attribute these changes to natural decay or pranks, but multiple reports describe carvings that altered while the pumpkins were carefully monitored in locked rooms or even outdoors in controlled conditions. The idea that an unseen force could manipulate such simple objects creates a tension that has kept this story alive, reminding the community that Halloween carries its own unpredictable magic. Then there are the lost children of the cornfield, a legend that spans rural North America. Each Halloween, children daring each other into cornfields report experiences that range from eerie whispers to sudden disorientation. In some cases, entire groups recount one child vanishing briefly, only to return with no memory of where they had been. These stories, while often explained by imagination and fear, have been accompanied by real-world incidents of children getting lost temporarily, adding weight to the legend. Over time, these accounts have merged, creating a narrative that warns, thrills, and captivates anyone who ventures too close to the darkened rows of corn on All Hallows' Eve. Europe contributes its own chilling tales. In France, the widow in the window is a figure said to appear in old townhouses during Halloween. A woman dressed in black, face hidden by shadow, observing anyone who passes below. Tourists and locals alike have reported feeling an inexplicable weight in their chest when glimpsing the windows, a sensation that cannot be explained by architecture or light alone. Urban legends like this are particularly potent because they tie fear to recognizable settings. A house, a street, a moment of ordinary life, suddenly transformed by the suggestion of a hidden watcher. In Mexico, Halloween merges with local traditions like Dia de los Muertos, creating a unique tapestry of legend and reality. Stories of spectral figures appearing among altars, whispers emanating from decorated graves, and marigold petals moving inexplicably have been recounted for generations. While these accounts are often framed as folklore, the intensity with which they are felt, sensed, seen, or experienced cements them in the cultural consciousness. Legends in this context are more than stories. They are reflections of collective memory, reminders that the past never fully leaves the present, and that Halloween is a time when the living brush against the echoes of those who have gone before. Even in urban America, the cursed house on Elm Street has become the focus of numerous Halloween legends. Investigators, thrill seekers, and journalists report strange phenomena: lights turning on and off, shadows moving against the grain of reality, and inexplicable sounds that echo through empty hallways. Each year, local children dare one another to approach it, to peek inside, and inevitably, the stories are retold with embellishments. Though every retelling includes a kernel of real encounters, the persistence of these legends demonstrates that Halloween is more than a holiday. It is a living stage for fear, a night when reality and imagination overlap and blend seamlessly. But perhaps the most haunting urban legends are those that remain unresolved. Stories of figures glimpsed in mirrors, laughter in empty rooms, or fleeting images at the periphery of vision continue to surface online and in local folklore. These legends thrive on ambiguity, drawing on universal fears: the unknown, the unseen, and the inexplicable. Each Halloween, new accounts are added to the growing tapestry, ensuring that the night remains a crucible for stories that unsettle, thrill, and intrigue. As we reflect on these urban legends of Halloween, it becomes clear that they are more than entertainment. They are a mirror to our collective fears, an exploration of the unknown, and a testament to the power of storytelling. From phantom hitchhikers to haunted dolls, from shifting pumpkins to shadowed watchers, these legends endure because they resonate with something primal within us: the thrill of fear, the fascination with the supernatural, and the mystery that surrounds the night of October 31st. And as Halloween passes, these tales do not end. They lie dormant, waiting for the next generation to discover, retell, and feel the chill of the unknown once more. For those who dare to believe, or even those who simply enjoy the thrill of the possibility, the urban legends of Halloween are never truly gone. Next year, when the moon rises high and the streets fill with costumes, remember, somewhere a shadow waits, a whisper lingers, and a legend awakens. And perhaps, if you are lucky or unlucky, you will encounter one yourself, a chilling reminder that some stories never die and some fears are eternal.